You're listening to The Bird Bath. The Bird Bath is brought to you by the team at Vet Forum USA, the most effective way to connect meaningfully with other business leaders in the animal health industry. On September 22nd to 23rd, group practice leaders and vendors will come together for 2 days of conference learning, pre-matched B2B speed dating, and informal networking, all in a top-tier location in Salt Lake City. Group practices can get a free spot, so reach out to Christopher at openroomevents.com for more information. Welcome back to the Bird Bath. Each week we scrape the surface of the news you need to know, so let's get into it. Top story this week was breaking just as we were starting our recording. Nestlé, the world's largest food company, has made headlines with the abrupt exit of their CEO. CEO Laurent Fritz was immediately dismissed following an internal investigation that found out he had an undisclosed romantic relationship with a direct subordinate, a violation of the company's code of business conduct. The chairman of the board said that the move was necessary to uphold Nestlé's values and governance standards. Stepping in immediately is Philippe Navratil, a Nestlé veteran, most recently heading up Nespresso, which I'm actually sipping on while telling you this story. He's been with the company since 2001 in a range of senior roles. So why does this matter for animal health people? Well, first off, I think it matters for the industry and the world as a whole. A CEO crossed the line on what a company thought was appropriate actions, and they took very swift action to not only eliminate that issue or address that issue, but they didn't leave the company, stockholders, shareholders, and the entire world in a bit of a limbo as they wondered about what was going to come next. They took a swift action, and I got to give them a lot of credit for that. We saw the Coldplay concerts, CEO, sort of caused a lot of waves around their business, and a lot of other people have seen CEOs be let go without direct understanding of what's coming next. So big thing there. But additionally, in the animal health world, Nestle is not just chocolate and coffee. It's a major player in pet nutrition through their company Purina, which you all know. Growing investments in wellness, diagnostics, and veterinary partnerships are a big thing for Purina right now. And as the animal health market faces pressure from the rising costs, industry consolidation, decreased demand, we are starting to see Nestle take on some new strategic efforts here. Something that Navratil's record shows a lot of growth in consumer brand, a lot of work in loyalty and engagement. He successfully grew Nespresso, Nescafe, as well as Starbucks before joining the Nestle world. So we could see Purina getting a bit of a boost here as it takes on a new CEO leading up the Nestle boardroom. If you're a rural veterinarian, you've probably been tracking closely what's going on with the USDA. U.S. Secretary of Agriculture Brooke Rollins made a big announcement last week with her Rural Veterinary Action Plan. It was an interesting display of trying to lay out what all the issues are and how they're planning to tackle it. But the thing that the USDA is doing is they're working to increase the number of rural food animal veterinarians across the U.S., as well as recruit new veterinarians to join the U.S. Department of Agriculture in their role to protect American ranchers, animals, and the U.S. food supply. To kick it off, they announced 2 awardees of the Veterinary Services Grant Program, which awarded $125,000 to 2 veterinary practices so that they could increase their capacity and expand their service offering. This is a very vital thing. We've seen a lot of issues about the shortage of number of veterinarians, and the issue is not getting any smaller in rural areas. So the ability for rural veterinarians to be able to have more capacity or be able to take on more with this additional grant is definitely a way that we can tackle some instability around our livestock health, the food supply. We're seeing the potential incursion of the New World screwworm, which will just add additional strain onto the rural system. So very interesting to see this being taken on here. The other big thing that was in the plan was that the USDA plans to enhance and streamline the veterinary grant program. So they want to make the veterinary medicine loan repayment program easier for people to get through. They want to increase the speed at which more of these veterinary services grants can go out, as well as they they want to be able to find ways for more veterinarians to be excited about joining these rural areas. The USDA said the rural veterinary shortage has been building for over a decade. Rural post, port inspections, and export certification roles are particularly hard to staff, especially when the pay offered by private practices in urban and suburban areas is more competitive than government pay. So, big things here. I'm going to link this action plan. It's not, a lot of it says what you expect from a government agency, that they're going to look at it and see what they can come up with. But it was interesting to see a major government agency sort of raising the flag on some of the things that are going on across the industry. They're hitting on the shortage, they're hitting on the increased cost of education, as well as the decrease in the demand of actual visits into the practices. So a lot of big things there. Be sure to check out that action plan, and I'd love to see sort of where this goes from here. A new research study is definitely piquing some interest. Researchers led by Dr. Ravi Sachidanandam, in collaboration with Waltham Research Institute, have uncovered an immune system markers. Specifically, they found T-cell receptors that are not only unique to individual dogs, but they're also unique to their breed. The study focused on 4 breeds: Beagles, Labrador Retrievers, Norfolk Terriers, and Petite Basset Griffon Vediens. By analyzing blood samples, the team discovered that each dog's TCR repertoire, which is kind of their fingerprint in many ways, is distinctive enough that a simple blood test could map it, track immune health over time, and reveal when something starts to go wrong. They also found breed-specific patterns in the TCRs. That means that vets could eventually tailor diagnostics and treatments for different breeds, boosting accuracy and effectiveness in managing disease. Another really interesting thing from the research was that TCR diversity declines with age, so there's a potential way to be able to age or have a molecular clock to understand the canine immune age. It would allow people to do more age-related monitoring and understand where issues could arise as dogs continue to age. Researchers said that tailoring diagnostics and treatment for both breeds and individual dogs opens the door for more personalized veterinary care that improves the lives of pets and pet owners. The team plans to expand their work to more breeds and to link immune age patterns with specific health issues such as infection, autoimmune disease, or cancer. Long-term goal, veterinary diagnostics using TCR profiling that could help dogs stay healthier longer. So, really cool study here. Can't wait to see where it goes next. One place that it could go is to the AniVC fellowship program. They're inviting ambitious students and graduates who can bring their added value, whether it's through research, startup work, or hands-on projects within the pet care space. They want to look at novel animal therapeutics, early diagnostics, consumables, e-commerce solutions, and they're particularly interested in applicants with consumer and DTC experience. The fellowship is an opportunity to provide a hands-on 6-month journey into venture capital and investing in animal health. It's part-time, paid, and fully remote, which checks a lot of really great boxes for me. What they said is fellows will have the opportunity to evaluate companies in the animal health space, connect with founders and experts building the next generation of pet health solutions. Applications are open now. They end and close at the end of this month with the start date at the beginning of November. So I will link that in the show notes. And if you're looking for a way to really get your hands on some of the cutting edge of what's happening, this looks like a great way to jump into the animal health space. Finally, if you're going to be in Kansas City and we didn't see each other last week, now's your chance. I am going to be at the Veterinary Innovation Summit at the Lowe's Hotel in Kansas City this week. It's always a great event to be able to hear about what's happening, where the industry is going, and really connect with a lot of the innovators, thought leaders, and people that are looking at where technology can improve medicine. Excited to be there. Make sure to say hello. And if you haven't signed up, make sure you sign up. They still have spaces available, and they're always excited to have thought leaders and thought provocateurs join the conversation. For more on these and other stories, you can join us by subscribing to our Substack. There's a link in the bio. And don't miss out on any episodes by subscribing and rating the show. For the Bird Bath, I'm Ryan Leach. See you next week.